What's up to everybody? The other day we were on a live someplace and people were talking about Scrapple and some of them never heard what it was. So I'm here to explain it and cook us up some Scrapple. Stay tuned, it's going to be fun. So, what is Scrapple? Now, when I was a kid, I always thought Scrapple was a Connecticut thing because that's where we found it the most, and that's what I had for breakfast mostly. And it was really great. It was a lot harder to find in Maine, so we usually had to bring it with us, and well, not too many people had heard about it in Maine. You can find it up here now, and it's pretty plentiful. The IGAs have it for sure. Um, so what is Scrapple? Scrapple is it's um, it, it's kind of like if you were to take um, a well, no, it's more like uh, uh, well, I guess the best way to describe it, the easiest way to describe it, is um, it's really uh, more like uh, no, that's um, it's a triangle, not a triangle, well, it's kind of um, more like a rectangle. Yeah, yeah, that would work. Um, well, it's probably easier to describe what it tastes like. Scrapple is very unique. It's a very unique flavor. If you can think about um, something like, oh, probably not. No. How about if you were to take it's lobster? No, it's nothing like lobster. No. Um, it, and not blueberries either, because that's it comes from Pennsylvania. I guess that's where it started. And the flavor tastes like Pennsylvania. It's kind of like if you were to put a sculpin and a pigeon together. No, no, that would be bad. Um, i- um, it's not that good. How, um, well, I know what I can do. I can show it to you, okay, and I can tell you what's in it. Let me get some glasses here. Um, let's see. It's got pork stock, pork, pork skins, cornmeal, feathers, pork livers, wheat flour, pork fat, pork shells, pork hearts, salt, and spices. So, it's got to be good. And, that's kind of what it looks like right there. See, I was right, it's a rectangle. Um, so, without further ado, let's make some Scrapple. So what we do first is we thaw it because it has to be frozen just so that it can't get away. I mean, so it will last a long time. And then what I like to do is add a little bit of saved bacon grease. And so I'll put that in. I know this is one of those magic pans that does stuff without being greased, but you really need some grease for this scrapple because it gets mad if it doesn't have any grease. So we'll turn the heat up on that, and while we're waiting for that to melt, I will cut up some scrapple. Now, it's pretty good. Okay. I'll try and stand out of the way. You just take some like 1/4-inch chunks. I cut it right through the plastic because, you know, it works. Actually taking the plastic off is a pain because then sometimes it won't stay together, and you really want this stuff to stay together because it'd be okay. Now another thing we want to do is we want to get some flour, because flour is one of these things that keeps it where you can it's one of these things where you actually have to have you know, when you see those warnings on the TV when people are doing stuff that's really crazy, and they say don't try this at home. Yeah, well, it should be all right. Okay, so we got some fancy flour. You know, we don't go with the cheap stuff, and you don't need a lot of flour. That's too much, but that'll be okay. You need just like I'd say you want a measurement, and it's just enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chunk of this scrapple, and I'm going to put it in the flour, and then I'm going to cover it over with the flour, and I'm going to cover it over real well with the flour because the flour is very good. Okay, and then I'm going to do the swizzle with the old bacon grease, and we're going to put one right there, and then we'll take another piece of the scrapple, and we'll make sure there's no plastic on there, and then we kind of poof it with the poof stuff, and like that. And don't let Mennonite Farms see this. No, bad. And then we put another one in there. And here's another one, and we put it in the sugar. I mean not the sugar. This is white, but it's not sugar. This is more poofy than sugar. This is the poofy stuff. What's the poofy stuff? Flour. Yeah. And we put that in there. And put another one in. And see, it kind of stays together. And you want it to stay together. You want it to stay together. It tastes better when it's together. Put another one in there, and boom. Now, you know when you've had hot peppers and stuff, and it gets on your hands, and you don't want to touch, you know, it's about it's the same thing. And you really should be using gloves. So, you know, it's like I should have turned the water on beforehand. Yeah, but I didn't. It should be all right. So don't do this at home. Okay, washing off. There, everything's done. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh. Now I was just kidding. It doesn't. But it's fine. I used to work for the state fire marshal's office. It'll be good. So we're going to turn this up a little bit just to make it go poofy more. Cook more. And now I got to get a thing that moves the stuff. And, geez, there's a feather. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's probably a tongue. Oh, maybe an eyelash. No. That's not my hair, that's for sure. Anyway, there's stuff that you can put on here. I've heard. I've never tried it, but this is pretty much all it is. Some flour, and you don't have to coat it in eggs. See, that would be eggs and a lot of pork. No. But you know, there's other stuff that you can do. I guess, you know, stuff. But this is the way you eat it. Trust me, I've done this before. And it's just gonna be some time here. I'm gonna give it some more gas. Yes, you get it, get it. Alright. And we just have to keep it moving, because if it grabs a hold of that pan, you know, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Actually, I've got the heat turned up way too much. I'm going to turn it down. You want to slow cook this because these are thick chunks and they're cold. These were frozen and they're just barely thawed out now. So it takes a while for the heat to get all the way through this stuff. It's pretty dense. One of the things you don't want to do is drop a Scrapple brick, because it can kill a snake. So while your Scrapple is cooking. You can make a lot of other stuff, like those other breakfast things. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm pretty good with toast. I got butter that I put. Oh man. So what happens with this stuff is as it warms up, it starts to disintegrate. No, that's not the right word. It's more like discombobulate. Oh, that's too many. Um, uh, it just kind of starts to fall apart, and I think that's why you put flour on it. Flour acts like a glue. You do those home projects there with the paper plastic, and when it dries out, it hollows. But see, and it goes just the opposite when it's hot and it cools. It'll stay together, and I think that's why you use flour because the other stuff would just be yeah, no. See that? See that? Oh man. Probably should have turned that on earlier. I'm getting feeble spun. See? Ooh. See? Cooked on both sides. Perfect. Just the way I told you. Scrapple. The main way. So, that's Scrapple. And when you have one of these to go with it, oh, nothing else like Moxie. Mmm. Oh, no. That's what it tastes like. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. Oh. Yeah. I tell you what, no, yeah. And then the app for Dakota, oh, oh. And it's the best. It's the best you've ever had. So, I'm gonna say, that's how you do Scrapple. Thanks for watching, and this is Marino's Mysteries, signing off. Ciao Bella. Okay, it's too darn hot. Turn the air conditioner on.